All right. Oh, you're here. Okay. Let me
Hey,
jump in. Okay.
let's begin the game.
Sure thing.
Also, I don't know which I should do. Like, go first or go second.
Um, I feel like most people agree that it's kind of a going first kind of deck, but at the same time, you do have a lot of stuff you can do when you're going second. So
Hmm.
it's a hard question, but most times you'd probably want to go first.
Hmm. Oh God, it's not good hand.
Oh, geez, what happened?
I can't summon anything.
Oh
Well,
no. Oh,
well.
well, that's already a big problem, but we'll I guess we'll work on that part of your
I
deck
don't,
pretty soon. Like, mind you, I can't really do all that much right now, but I basically set this deck up in a way where I can always summon something because that was one of the hardest shits to deal with in this overall, like, meta that this game has right now.
yeah.
Just
Oh
having
God.
any sort of board presence.
Oh, I'll do this at least.
Eh, it's not terrible, but
Oh, you already have an artificial in your graveyard, so you probably like some.
yeah. Okay, so you know at least that much that the entire deck nowadays is just get them in the graveyard as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is basically all I'm allowed to do right now, so we'll do it.
All right.
Alright.
Pain. All right. Let's draw a card. Really?
Oh dear.
I have two Jar Magicians in my hand, two Seravis, and one Jar Magician girl. I can't do anything.
Wait, you have which one?
The dragon
Oh,
type
the
Pokemon.
oh, the one that I mentioned?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
no.
pretty heavy.
I mean, the thing about
Yeah.
it is that's going to become relevant in a bit. Like, hmm, maybe at some point during this match it'll come up, but let me just go through what's happening here. So, we'll be doing that. Set the soul from deck.
Eternal Soul.
Yeah. And huh, that's actually still all I can do. Okay. We'll get another hit in real fast.
No.
And ending the turn.
All right. Surely this next card will give me something I need. Huh.
Like the thing about it is, even though what you call it, Dark Magician decks in general are just kind of like that. What I'm beginning to realize through the thinking of a lot of other people is that yeah, it's nice to run a bunch of the Dark Magician cards all together and get things going that way, but it's also nice playing other things like power cards to deal with how crazy everything is in the game now. And
Mm.
it's also important to kind of like just like identify what the best DM cards are, like the ones that either enable your the philosophy behind the deck's how the deck should operate, or the ones that just actually do a thing immediately that is for the better.
I have big brain time.
Uh-oh. What's the play here?
Like just I just sacrifice it and yeah. And now I have more power.
Okay. So we'll be doing this. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you see, if I had my if I had my Dark Magician girl in the graveyard right now, this would be a funny moment of interaction, but I can't do what I want to do right now, so
Any of that. What else will get out of that? Ah, dang. Yeah, this is just a really unlucky. I have like 4 level 7 monsters that I cannot summon right now.
I'm basically in the same position right now, so we're gonna do this. Because you know, drawing this card is something else.
No.
Okay. That could have been really mean right there, but I'm gonna just save it for now. Here we go. Alright. Oh wait, I forget. This thing doesn't work unless I have another one in the deck. Yeah, alright. Well,
No.
maybe it would have been better to go into something else. You guys have to forgive me. This is like the first thing I'm doing all day, really. Like,
Okay.
my sleep schedule is so destroyed that I'm here waking up. Like, the thing about it is, it was good this morning because I actually woke up at like a regular human time, but then I fell back asleep and didn't get back up until like 5. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
That's fine. That is one monster in the field. How many times does he have? Dang, no. Dang. Alright, even if I. Yeah, I got it.
I think I'm gonna just do this.
Why would you.
Because I get to do this now.
Dang. I think I lost so much.
Oh, whoa. Sometimes I feel like I should have a dedicated mouse because I feel like every now and again I trigger some sort of like touch command and it just throws my entire screen out of whack. Like, what is going on? Okay, so I didn't really get to do anything that I wanted to show off with this, but here we go.
I mean, I'm in misery. Ow. Okay, it's okay. It's just one match. It's fine.
It's like honestly, there's nothing about this right now. Like I'm not trying to show off or be big-headed.
Hey, okay.
I'm just trying to like help you with your deck construction. Like, oh wait, no. Well, we can do one more, and then after that, like, I kind of wish if there was a in-game means of like peeking at what your deck is, just to like real time give you suggestions and ideas to play around with.
Hmm.
Like that might be something to suggest to Konami themselves if they take any like what's the word I'm looking for? If they take any feedback in the future.
Hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna go first this time.
Go for it.
The Sandgan just floating away in the ether over there every time. I'm like, what is that animation and why is it so amusing to me?
Uh, okay, this is a lot better hand, hopefully.
Okay. Gonna activate this. You know, somebody said something about this card that made me really sad because I'm just here like, that is the perfect thing that should have actually been on it, but of course, they always manage to miss one bit of the mark. They said that while the field spell is up, Eternal Soul should have been made so that it can't leave the field. I'm like,
Oh.
yo, that would have been so good!
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's always some. Oh, the mirror indeed.
The mirror.
Um, But what am I saying? There's always some one little thing about all of these Dark Magician based strategy like cards that come out of Konami proper where it's like this makes all the sense in the world and yet you're not doing it. Why? Like I'll give you another example of it for me personally. I think that the fusion card, the Dark Magicians, you know, the one with the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl,
Hmm.
it should have had an extra effect that was if it was like special, if it was fusion summoned with one or both of those cards as materials, it gained their name while on the field. Because then
Yeah.
Eternal Soul becomes really crazy with them. You could do all kinds of fancy shit, and you wouldn't need to run as many Dark Magician like the vanilla brick monster in your deck. And I'm like, it's so simple, and other things are out here doing it. So what's the problem?
Yeah. Well, can't do much, but I can do this.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's actually a little dangerous now because you actually made it to your circle, and I'm still here like nothing to summon really. So
Well, all right. Suspicious. It's fine. I can do this in list.
like this is always the part about playing the Dark Magician Mirror that terrifies me. It's like once the other one gets started up, everything goes to hell.
Yeah. I'm not risking it. Well, okay, good. And I can do this.
Oh shit. Okay, so if do you mind if I talk a little bit about like my own thinking with that specific card?
Mhm.
All right. So in the very beginning of me playing Master Duel and like kind of very recently making more of these decks, I've kind of been like I see the benefit of that card and I think it works really well, but the problem is it's another one of these cards that requires the Dark Magician to like
Be
be
on the field.
on the field already. You can't just use it straight from your hand.
Mhm.
And for that in that regard, I kind of started moving towards just running the regular Dark Burning Magic package because
Mhm.
I felt like with the combination of Magician's Salvation and just like how many things are out now that are pushing both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl straight to graveyard, I was
Mhm.
like, okay, maybe I could get away with the idea of just running enough of those cards. Like, because before, what happened is I would be running like one bond between what do you call it? What is it? I forget the name, but basically one bond and like one dark burning magic if I had to keep the package really light. But I actually
Mhm.
did like nuking the board multiple times, so I would run two of those things. But it became kind of a bricky situation because you would be drawing into so many of these piece cards, but not the actual one that you're looking to see. I'll continue the thoughts after I see how this plays out. That's my problem right there. I still haven't properly mastered that YouTuber, Twitch streamer talking your thoughts out while playing. You know, the chewing, walking while chewing gum, if you will.
I can't. Yeah, it's hard for me. Too, so.
Oh, okay. What do I even have to go with right now? What's in here? Wait, I can activate? Oh yeah, I can activate, and it's because of you.
Really? That counts?
That's an actual interaction. Yeah, if your cards are Dark Magician Girl on the field, I can do things too. I
Oh my
completely
god.
forgot about that because I've never actually played in the mirror before.
That's incredible.
That is really funny. Oh shit! Wait, which one did I pick?
Yeah, then you
Okay.
said you picked just fun this time.
Oh no! I picked the wrong effect. Ah!
Were you trying to spin summon Dark Vision?
Yeah, I was gonna try and summon it with that, but it's fine. We're
It's
not we're
fine.
not we're not here for A1 gameplay right now. I'm gonna take that. All right, and then what can I do here? That's so upsetting. I made like such a huge misplay right there.
It happens. Dang, what this? Oh, dang. That's pretty cool.
We're just here. Like honestly, I feel like Link Kuriboh is the one card that's suggested to in like 80% of Dark Magician builds that I have no idea how to use.
I'm not good with
Oh
this.
well.
I haven't taken it out yet, so might as well use it. Wait, I had a chance.
Okay.
Dang, what this?
All right. Droll and Lockbird. Basically,
Use-
for the rest of this turn, you can't pull anything from your deck.
Fair enough. Well, I don't think I need to.
You definitely don't. Oh wait, timeout. Maybe.
What?
All right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
All right.
Seravis basically has a hand trap effect where like things targeting my monsters, I could just discard it to negate
All
them.
right. All right. All right.
Now mind you, I'm not thinking this through. That's just a thing that happened.
Okay.
Okay. This is just stalling at this point. There's really nothing else to it. Yep, and there it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this deck, as cool as it is when you start popping off and doing things, the true mark of whether or not you know how to pilot it is how long you can last in horrible situations like that. Because
Oh yeah.
once you reach the point where you're surviving, it's like it really puts the pressure on the other person, even when you don't have shit to go off with. Okay, so give me a second. I gotta
Good.
look into this deck. So, yeah, it hasn't changed from what I posted it, like the screenshot to you, because I just haven't had any good ideas. But I guess I'll go over what's happening in general, right?
Hmm.
So, two Dark Magicians because the most recommended like ratio. That's the most recommended ratio for them right now. Because yeah, three Dark Magicians is nice because you have more things like in the event that you have to wind up banishing a Dark Magician or somebody else banishes one, you still have the two to rely on. You still have
Hmm.
access to all of your plays and whatnot. But I think this move was more so in my like I'm learning how to play with two, right?
Hmm.
It's not really a thing that I'm like, oh, this is it. This is how it should be. It's more like at one point I was playing three, now I'm trying to learn how to play two because I feel like there's a lot of situations that'll happen where like you get an opening hand and it has multiple dark magicians in it and it's like you know you're not getting that on the field turn one. You have a situation where you need to draw literally any power card or any dark magician card to get something started, but you draw a second or the third dark magician instead. And
Yeah.
those kinds of situations happen often enough to where I'm like, okay, let me try playing with the two and see where we're going. Not only that, you in this deck you're not technically playing two because
Hmm.
if you can kind of move your way upward, you could wind up with a Dark Magician the Dragonite on the field. I have two of them in the extra deck, so technically it's like playing four Dark Magicians overall. And Dark Magician the Dragonite also has that lovely effect of protecting the back row.
Hmm.
Um, you have double Droll and Lockbird. Honestly, I'll just talk about all the hand traps right now. So double Droll and Lockbird is just stop taking things from the deck, leave me alone. Max C's that I just made are give me cards when you summon, and Ash Blossom is Ash Blossom. Nothing really to explain about that one, but in general, these are just the three that I feel like I didn't have spots for other things, so let's just keep them here just to
Hmm.
actually have interactions on opponents' turns because some of these combo decks, you leave them alone and they just feel like, oh, it's training mode. I get to do whatever I want now.
Yeah.
Um, that and a bunch of the better Dark Magician cards just aren't in the game yet, and it's really really frustrating because I was finally starting to play with a lot of that stuff, like Dragoon. I was using the, what do you call it, Omega to test out builds with the Illusion of Chaos from the recent set that came out. And me, I'm a nerd, so I really like Chaos Max, Magician of Black Chaos Max, for some wacky interactions it has on your opponent's turn if you can summon it during that turn. But of course, all that thinking is out the window because every single one of those cards doesn't exist in Master Duel yet. So now I'm just kind of playing kind of dry, like here's Dark Magician, I guess, kind of deck, and we'll see how it develops over time. 3 souls, 3 rod. Those are just like the usual numbers for those things, and you know what those do, so I don't really have to go into it too much. Well, I'll put a pin in rod though, because there's a thing I was supposed to tell you about before. Dark Magician Girl, because Konami finally made Dark Magician Girl like actually have real synergy with the deck overall, so now it doesn't feel like stupid to just play this outside of like anime nostalgia.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Apprentice Illusion Magician at 2 because it's still like a really great extender in the deck, and it puts like that additional body on the board. So like if you want feel like going into not synchro, Xyz plays or Link plays, like she just basically invites herself to the field, and you can do things off of that.
Hmm.
Seravis is interesting because I haven't gotten to test it much. Like at all, really. I just saw it in a couple of videos, and right around the time when I saw it, I put it in the deck, but I didn't get to really play a lot of matches with it in deck. So the thinking there is, it's basically a searchable Called by the Grave, where you can use like Preparation of Rites. Now, mind you, this is from builds that are more current, like running the package with Illusion of Chaos and everything that came out of the recent set, because it's a level 7 ritual monster, and you can search it off of Preparation of Rites. But in my deck here, it's really being used more as the hand trap and for its dragon qualities, because I really was starting to get tired of the Eye of Timaeus, because it's a very it's a weird card, right? Because when you have the right circumstances going, which is like a dark magician on the field and you just drew into it, you can do some really stupid, to the point borderline like top deck as hell kind of situations to people. Like immediately draw it, summon out Dragonite, then immediately activate Eternal Soul to get back that same Dark Magician you use, and then trigger off your circle, assuming you have all of these things on the field, and get like another banish off that way. So in that one term, you've put up 2 bodies with over 2,500 attack. You've put up you have a protected Eternal Soul and Circle just went off to knock something out of their like field. It's kind of nutty, but at the same time, I just don't like the Eye of Timaeus like that as a card, because it's like you have to play it at more than one to see it, because you can't search it normally. But at the same time, you don't want to see 3, because as soon as you're drawing it in situations where a Dark Magician isn't on field, you're bricking, and that card causes the worst kinds of bricks. Because then you're just like, please God, don't let me draw another one of these. As you're waiting for the other brick to show up, and then a means to get that brick on field. Um, so that's kind of the reason why I moved away from the Eye of Timaeus to playing this card, because it has an effect that you can use literally on field, like, well, in hand, sorry, where anytime a card that you control is targeted with a monster effect or a card effect, so like spell, monster, trap, anything of that targets something on your side, you can take the Seravis as it exists in your hand and just pitch it to the graveyard to negate the effect. So basically, a general hand trap effect, right? And it also has a second effect, which I haven't gotten to use, but seems really, really strong, even though, like, yeah, targeting. The second effect is, if it's special summoned to the field, what do you call it? When your opponent special summons something on their side, you can return this card to the hand, negate that special summon, and banish the monster that was trying to be special summoned. That could be a whole game changer in this good situation. And on top of that, because of how ritual cards work, if the card was already summoned, once you pitch it from your hand to the graveyard, you can use Monster Reborn again because it was already inherently summoned one time. So the game considers it live, meaning you can now use things like Monster Reborn or whatnot to get it back from the grave and bring it to the field if you need it a second time as a body on field.
Hmm.
So then going over to spell lineup, Monster Reborn, I don't know. I think a certain part of me is, in fact, somebody who just is a Yugi deck nostalgia type. So Monster Reborn in a Dark Magician deck just feels right. um, I run two Magician Salvation. I've seen people run one, and the card is searchable enough or stackable by Soul Servant, such that if it ever leaves the field, it's okay. You can get it back fairly easily enough. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a player. I'm confident enough in how I move around, but I still like having reassurance here and there, and that's why I run
Yeah.
the second copy of it. So, you know what it does? It sets Eternal Soul, and if you're summoning a Dark Magician while a Dark Magician Girl is on the field, or vice versa, you can target that summoned spellcaster and get the other one out of the graveyard. So basically, you're putting two bodies up with an Eternal Soul instead of one. Pretty fun stuff.
Hmm.
Dark Magical Circle. So, like, I don't know how I felt about this card beforehand, more than it's cool. It's a Dark Magician card, and it does the nifty little one banish per turn thing. But
Hmm.
there was something that was brought up in a conversation that I was paying attention to, and it's very true. Dark Magical Circle is a card that I can't see being played at 3 anymore in any of the modern Dark Magician decks because you have a situation right now where you're trying to run more varied power cards. Like in my case, so far the only one is like Skill Drain, but then you also have Call by the Grave, which is kind of just general stop your hand traps, right? But
Hmm.
the issue with doing that is the fewer cards you're running in your deck, spell cards, spell and trap cards especially off of this thing, the fewer spell and trap cards you're running that list Dark Magician in its text, the less impressive Dark Magical Circle becomes because it's inherently going to start whiffing and like you're not going to get cards to put back into your hand. So it becomes more about the second effect, which is banishing. But the problem is it's targeting, it's one banish per turn per summon and per summon per turn actually. And you think about what other decks are doing and how easy it is to just remove this card now, especially since people are willing to play more back row removal. And it's like, yeah, that's actually problematic. And on top of that, running 3 is also another brick in and of itself because you play the Dark Magical Circle and then you hit Dark Magical Circle. What are you gonna do? Play another one? So it's
Yeah.
like, so it's kind of like 2 is probably where I would go. I've seen people play 1. I am not ballsy enough to play 1 of this. That's really what that boils down to. But if I
Hmm.
could, I probably would experiment with that.
Hmm.
Um, Dark Burning Magic. Okay, so this was the conversation I was trying to have earlier, but now I can do it since we're a little bit calmer here. I like this card. I've always liked this card. I feel like just the idea of a complete board wipe, like spell and trap, makes this so good in certain situations. But the problem back in the day with the card was how do you get Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl out on the field at the same time for it? People used to run. This was really like Duel Links era when I was waiting for this card to drop in Duel Links. I forget if it even did, but anyway, people were running like Magician's Navigation because of that effect of summon like one from the hand, one from the deck, and like you just pull out whichever one you needed from whichever place.
Hmm.
But the way you come, Magician's Navigation is just kind of not it in this one. Not when you have full access to more than 20 cards and like everybody's going absolutely crazy with the hyper plays and whatnot.
Oh
Like
yeah.
like if you're doing the summoning, just run Eternal Soul and Magician's Salvation. Do that and save yourself some headache.
Hmm.
Um, so then the conversation moved from this to playing like one copy of Bond between teacher and student, and then one copy of Dark Burning Magic. I feel like the problem with that package is Dark Burning Magic is inherently better when you have two of those things because sure you can stack that same one that you had with like what is it, Soul Servant or whatever else to pull it from graveyard, But the problem with that is if it goes to the graveyard in a bad situation, you know that you're not pulling it back for a while because you have to commit another resource to stack it on top of the thing. And you would prefer using a resource like Soul Servant to do bigger things like stack Soul to the top of the deck, stack Rod to the top of the deck, etc., etc. What do you call it? So in that case, I just kind of like running the two just to have like if one has to be pitched for anything, if one is destroyed, if one is banished, whatever it may be, you still have that other one in the back, and you make things happen off of it. You also like playing off of the board wipe, like usually, I use it probably after an extended sequence with Soul and Salvation, and then once Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl are in field, then I'll activate it either on the opponent's turn or as soon as I have clearance to, or actually no, I like activating, like my favorite time to activate it is after a board, after the, oh what do you call it? After both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl are on field, but after I've also acquired a Secrets of Dark Magic in hand, because the neat thing about that entire interaction is you wipe their board, you wait for any sort of response from graveyard monsters or whatever else have you. If they have a graveyard monster, you special summon Dark Magicians, the fusion,
Mhm.
and in that chain, you could get the Dark Magicians to trigger and give you a extra draw from your deck because of their quick effect, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wait until it transfers back to your turn, swing in attack mode with Dark Magician Girl, then activate that same Secrets of Dark Magic to get Dark Magicians on field, and then you get a third swing. So it's kind of a neat combo. Probably not the greatest thing in the world, but it's there. It's damaging, so figured I'd mention it.
Mhm.
Called by the Grave is here. Called by the Grave is here just to say no to whatever hand trap that people want to try using. I haven't really designated a target as like particularly annoying for the deck, but it's just there in the situation you're like, I don't really feel like dealing with you specifically right now.
Mhm.
I want to try getting a second one and probably dropping one copy of Skill Drain for it, but the UR dust grind is real. Soul Servant. Oh my god, this card is so important to this deck. You you use it and you put thing at the top of the deck, you know, the usual good stuff. But then you stack your grave in a certain way such that you can draw with it. Like usually you don't want to activate it till you get the draw two effect, but there are times where you would just kind of like pitch one to get the immediate next up card because you just want to get something started as soon as possible. You should try to not do that, but it is an available play to you.
Mhm.
Um, anything interesting? Oh, so I should probably mention some interesting tactics with this. You can activate this and Eternal Circle. Well, what am I saying? Dark Magical Circle at the same time. Either you chain Circle first, then this, or this, then Circle. Um, the idea behind it being you you activate Circle first, such that like basically you're trying to bait out the activation of Ash Blossom. So when you activate Circle, you know the first effect that goes off is the search, and somebody might want to like hand trap you with Ash Blossom. When they pitch the Ash Blossom, you just activate this like right after that, so you can still put something on the top of the deck, and you basically saved the real play, which is putting something on the top of the deck, versus using Magical Circle's effect. In the opposite direction, you start with what do you call it? You start with this, but only when you suspect that it's not going to get hand trapped or whatever. You
Mhm.
start with Magician. What am I saying? You start with Soul Servant. You pick exactly what it is that you want to see. It would have to be like a spell or trap in this situation, and
Mhm.
then and then you let the chain play out, and Magical Circle will hit whatever it is you just stacked to the top of the deck. So it's just a really quick way of getting exactly what it is you want from this situation.
Mhm.
Um, So, Secrets of Dark Magic. This one is kind of interesting because pretty much everybody says play this at one, and I get why they say it because despite like I'm over here telling you that you want to play cards that activate right away, like in this Dark Magician thing, because it's so easy to brick off of cards that are like you gotta wait for Dark Magician to be on field, bro. But in this particular situation, I I'm gonna just say I'm not confident enough yet to run it at one. In much the same way that I am with Dark Burning Magic, except more so because this is your only method of fusion summoning. This is your only method of ritual summoning if you want to do that with Seravis, right? So I kind of defend it to death in this particular build because if it goes, you just lost your ability to go into like the Dark Magicians, the Dragonite, and just do the silly shit off of those two particular off those two monsters. And then on top of that, you've also lost access to putting Seravis on field, so now you gotta treat it as like it's hand trap and only that. Um, so the other nifty things to keep in mind with this thing, you can set it and use it on your opponent's turn since it's a quick play spell, which means that you can dodge kind of a few different effects based on what they're doing. You can activate it to get a Dragonite on the field to protect your entire back row, for example. You can use Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in one turn and then use Eternal Soul, assuming you have Salvation up, and suddenly you have three monsters on board and another banish that triggers on their turn, so you're basically punishing them for extending in any direction, and just a bunch of different things. I kind of hope that during some of the duels we have after I explain this, we run into those situations so I could show you, but yeah, it's a fun thing. Though
Okay.
though I do also understand and kind of agree with the idea that like it's not as good as it could have been. If it had said something like fuse from the hand, graveyard, or deck, oh geez, that would have been like easy 3-off stuff right there.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the traps. So, Torrential Tribute, I kinda moved away from, what was it, Storming Mirror Force. I still kinda want to run it in the deck because that card is funny as shit to me. There are so many people who just swing and don't actually take care of back row, and it's like, what are you doing? But basically, this is like, somebody summons something, blow up the whole field. You would think that this is a problematic card because your entire field is like, I just want to get all my magicians on the field. But the thing about it is, once again, with Salvation and Eternal Soul, you're putting two up, and then you can go off into any direction, any number of paths afterwards with like the spells and traps that I've mentioned before to get like more bodies on board. Um,
Hmm.
Skill Drain, especially with the combination of Torrential Tribute, is hilarious because when you're negating their face-up effects, if they have anything that's like, hey, if this card was blown up face-up on the field, summon it back from the graveyard, that's not working anymore because, yeah, you were face-up while Skill Drain was active. And then a really, like, I feel like I have to explain this one because it's important, and I really only saw this mentioned in a YouTube comment that I got directly at me one point, like in the
Okay.
last 2 weeks. There's a very cool interaction between Magician's Soul and Skill Drain that's already active on the field. You can
Hmm.
turn off, like in Dark Magician decks, you can turn off Skill Drain because the Magician's Souls has that second effect of sending cards as cost from hand or field to the graveyard to draw two. All you do is make Skill Drain one of the cards sent, and because it's a cost effect, like the effect doesn't take place until after you've paid the cost,
Hmm.
you can send Skill Drain away because it's technically not a part of the major effect.
Hmm.
So when you need to start using your effects again, you can just summon a Magician's Soul and send Skill Drain to the graveyard, and also get a bonus draw off of that. And then
Hmm.
Eternal Soul is Eternal Soul. I don't really think I need to explain this one. About the only thing I will mention is that use it on your opponent's turn whenever the opportunities arise. Like you have Circle, you have this, you see them summoning something like a starter, or they have a boss monster with no protection, just use this on their turn and make them feel bad for not getting rid of it first. Okay, and then we just move into this. Dragonite, very obvious, protects back row, 3,000 attacks, so sometimes it punches over things on regular Dark Magician wouldn't. Dark Magicians, very much your go-to when you're quick play summoning, like
Hmm.
because you don't have to use Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. You can use Dark Magician and any spellcaster, which is like 95% of this deck. So have fun. Xyz. I'm not gonna lie to you, Big Eye was always in these deck lists, and I kind of like the option, but I never use Big Eye. Like I just never actually run into situations where I think, let me make this and do something with it. And I don't, and it might just be me not thinking about it more so than anything, but it's there, you can do it. It can be kind of interesting. Ibon, kind of go into it often enough, but not as much as I probably should for it to be in the deck like this.
Hmm.
You basically use two level 7s. You can discard one. You can detach one from it to special summon one Dark Magician. Really, a vanilla spellcaster monster, and special summon it to the field next to it. And when that monster attacks in that same turn, you get a second banish with this card's effect because it allows you to select another monster on the field and just straight hot banish it as long as the vanilla monster attacks first. Um, so it's kind of neat. There are some things you can do with it if you're playing like what's the other monster? It's like no, something the moral leader. I'll show it to you like later on,
That's good.
but basically, I don't know, like I get why it's here, and I have resolved it a few times, but especially the time period after I've dropped from 3 to 2 Dark Magicians, I don't get to use that special summon effect as often as I should, so it's like, maybe I will consider cutting it. Maybe just because it's Master Duel, I'll put back in the third Dark Magician just to actually have that effect to use again, but it's in a weird place, basically, and it's only really in the deck still because Dark Magician just doesn't have all of its pieces. Like, Gwen's Dragoon, man. Put him back. Give him back. Red Eyes
We're paying for
Flare.
our sins.
Oh, what's up?
We're paying for our sins.
I mean, I guess so. This is really an OCG thing because I'm like, it's not like it's not fair, man. We finally get a boss monster that feels like a real 2020 something boss monster for the deck, and everybody's just mad because why does Dark Magician get to have that? Meanwhile, they're using it in every other deck under the sun and not asking why is it being used in all of those.
Uh,
But for real though, like that card, man, and it isn't even really just the card. It's just like interactions around it, like the whole Verte Red Eyes Fusion bomb thing, the whole like what do you call it, pushing the two bricks that you need to see in the graveyard most to the deck as your opener, while also having a double negate thing that burns and everything. It's like that card was so needed, but unfortunately it's like everybody. I guess it was just too popular because it's a part of like the Yu-Gi-Oh aesthetic archetype. But anyway, moving on. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Oh god, this thing can be so clutch in some matchups. Like I'm telling you, this is like Sky Striker be gone. This is Eldritch be gone. As much as this deck kind of just bullies Eldritch sometimes, but this can also add to it because it's like any card effect goes off, they take 500 damage. Any.
mm,
It's not like spell. It's not trap. It's not monster. It's any. And like with how these decks are going on out here, and then on top of that, if it was made with what do you call it? If it was made with two, what do you call it? Sorry, if it has any Xyz material, actually, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So they have to either banish, send it, or like get really creative to put it away. I had a match that was decided entirely because they blew up my Eternal Soul, thinking, yeah, that'll get rid of it, and it just stayed on the field and nuked them for the last 500 damage because, yeah, you activated that Mystical Space Typhoon and didn't expect it to stay on the field.
mhm.
But yeah, so it's really, really good, and I can see it becoming better in the future when the Red Eyes support comes back, or if they ever release Dragoon to the masses, because the second effect is you can detach one Xyz material and special summon a Red Eyes normal monster, which would obviously be Black Dragon itself. And in doing that, you would get a second fusion of like another Dragoon or whatever else. But it would also still have one Xyz material, so it would still be protected from destruction effects. Really nutty stuff. Um, this card is just kind of like I don't have any ideas for stuff to throw in the extra deck, but I also needed stuff to fill it up. It's kind of cute. You could kind of put together multiple attributes under the card itself, and it takes on both those attributes. Attributes being like the element, like light, dark, wind, water, fire, earth, those six.
Hmm.
And you basically can take whatever two you use to make it, it becomes. But you can also go a step further, where like every time you what do you call it, like really, it's just a quick effect. There's no real time for it. You can basically take a monster from your opponent's graveyard and detach one material from the card already to put that card as material into this thing, and it becomes that element as well. But really, it's not about the elemental aspect of it. That can come up, but it's not about that. What it is I'm just gonna take this monster now. Like, you need this? No, I'm not. You're not allowed.
Hmm.
Um, Zeus is kind of stupid. You can up summon it from other Xyz monsters. I don't know if I have the right ones here because I haven't summoned this thing yet. I'm trying to learn how to use that and do that, but yeah. Basically, you would create one of these other Xyz monsters that immediately from there you would go up into Zeus and you would have three materials under it. Zeus says, "I'll just blow up the field." Zeus says, what do you call it? If something on this side dies, like something on our side of the field is blown up or destroyed, you can take that card and instead of sending it to the graveyard, you just add it to this card as a what do you call it, material, to then use that as materials for the cost of blowing up the field again.
Hmm.
Oh, and also it's non-destruction blowing up the field, so that can come up in situations where it's like, oh, this monster cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. It's like, I'm not destroying you, I'm gently pushing you off stage. And then you have the Link lineup. So let me see what I'm gonna say here. Uh, because I feel like I've been talking forever and I don't know if I'm like getting on your nerves right now. Sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
no, no. No
Okay,
worries, no worries.
so Link Spider basically takes a normal monster, puts this bad boy in its place. The only reason you're doing that is because you link it to Dark Magician, pass on their turn. They get their turn, they put something on field. You activate Eternal Soul, probably with your circle right next to it, and get that same Dark Magician back, trigger the banish effect on their turn, and banish that starter. It just gives them a nightmare on their turn, basically. Mduck is the exact same thing, except it's also a dragon target, and you can use it like you summon that Dark Magician back on the field and extend further by using secrets or whatever your fusion spell of choice is to create Dark Magician to Dragonite. Also, there's a neat interaction where you summon Link Spider first, and then you make what do you call it, Mduck, and have it point to Link Spider. That's two monsters on the field with effects that are linked to one another. If you're playing Verte Anaconda, whenever that becomes relevant for this deck, I don't know. I haven't found a use for it that I liked without like Red Eyes Fusion and all that fun stuff. But
Uh,
if you're playing Verte, you can take both of these, link to one another, and just make Verte as a link 2 and go into stupidity from that. Link Kuriboh, honest to God, I might drop this for Verte. Because it's not that its effect is bad. It's not that what it does is bad. It's just I feel like in all of the situations where this would be relevant, I would much rather have another monster. And if I want to link away a level 1, I would or like one monster because usually it's an Eternal Soul that becomes my Link Kuriboh. But if I want to link away into something, I would rather just do Artemis. However, Artemis has an interaction with Rod specifically that is so powerful and so important that I feel like I would never link away that monster into Artemis anyway, so it's a conundrum. So I'm gonna just say that this spot right here is like the most I don't know what to do spot in the deck right now. Artemis. Okay, so I don't know if you're watching the stream as I'm narrating, but I'm
oh,
just.
oh,
Oh, you weren't?
oh, sorry. I didn't
No,
want to like.
no. I mean it's okay because like again we were playing matches, so I understand why you wouldn't have had it on in the first place. But
Yeah.
It's really just a joke I'm giving you. So like, if you're looking at the screen now, look at all of this text and realize that none of it is the reason why we play this card in this deck. All of that you can ignore. Why we play Artemis? Why we play Artemis in this Dark Magician deck is because of this very neat interaction. You summon Magician's Rod to the field. Magician's Rod activates its effect. Magician's Rod searches any spell or trap listing Dark Magician in its text, puts it in your hand, and that's the end of the Rod effect. Problem is, you have a Rod on the field. Why do you want a Rod on the field? Is there any reason in this deck that you can see that you would want a Rod on this effect? That you would want a Rod on the field? The answer is no. So what do? You link summon Artemis using the rod as material. This can be done at any time, but it's more powerful later in the matches. You can do it early too because it's just as strong. It's just more powerful later on because you can get really stupid interactions going this way. So why is Artemis linked off of Rod powerful? You do everything, and let's say you end on a board with just Artemis and nothing else, no monsters. Your back row is set, but you don't know what you're doing. You've passed it over to your opponent's turn. Your opponent does anything, summons. Actually, no. I think it's effect based. So your opponent summons something that gets their combo started, right? Magician's Rod has a second effect that's actually a quick effect that states, what do you call it? If you activate a spell trap card or effect while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can tribute a spellcaster monster and add this card back to your hand. Basically, what happens there in this interaction is the opponent does anything. Yeah, actually, that's why I was saying summon. Your opponent summons. You just flip up your Eternal Soul. You don't even have a Dark Magician yet, but you just flipped up Eternal Soul. Magician's Rod activates in the graveyard and says, "Hey, free me." You summon, you tribute the Artemis that was there in the link zone, and you get the Rod back. And then the next turn, you can summon Rod again to get another one of your combo, like your magic or trap card, sorry, spell or trap card. God, I'm old. Spell or trap cards back from the deck, and what do you call it? You can just literally start popping off from there. There's also insanely cool ways to dodge nonsense with this thing, where like you summon the Artemis and you bait somebody into attacking it, while you have like say a modest lineup going on in the background. Like let's say you have Dark Magician Girl, whatever. You tribute off the Artemis, you get the Rod back, and then you pop off and activate a whole bunch of other effects. Like you can activate the Dark Magician's draw effect. You can activate, what do you call it? Like there's interactions, and I have some of them saved from some of the other like Master Duel videos that I've put up on my YouTube channel. I gotta go through them and find some as examples to show you exactly how you can use it, but it creates a really interesting set of interactions that you can use on your opponent's turn, and again, it gets you back a rod. So technically, you could be playing 4, 5, 6 rods in this deck off of this effect alone. So yeah, the funniest thing about this thing is like all of this, literally all of its text, none of it matters for Dark Magician, and yet it's one of the most important cards in the deck. Blacklister Soldier is just another boss monster for where it's like you want to do things with this deck, but at the same time you don't have the Dark Magician boss monster trademark in Dragoon, so this is just here as another we're gonna be here to get your back. And also, it's thematic, another Yugi card in the Yugi deck. And then Selene. Selene is fun. Selene basically is you create it with 3 materials and it hits the field. And however many spell cards are activated or in the graveyard, it gets spell counters for. You can use 3 of the spell counters that are on it, and it basically monster reborns a spellcaster from the graveyard to one of the zones that it points to. Really good stuff. So, current thinking with the rest of this deck and what I would like to do in the future. I want to get Verte involved somehow, but I don't know how to because it's just like there's no good spell targets for it because like Magicalized Fusion is like the only fusion card that you can use with this deck currently, but I really don't like the banish effect on it because that's one whole Dark Magician and one other card that you have to get rid of to summon either Dragonite or Dark Magicians, and it's like you need everything in this particular build. Like you need both of those Dark Magicians, you need Rod, you need Souls, you need the one Dark Magician girl. So you're just in a situation where you don't want to see them banished, even if you're doing it, unless you're doing it for game. But at that point, your flexibility is like hard. Like, yeah, you can only do this, but only then. Um, what do you call it? So that's why I kind of have it added Verte because there's just no good targets for it right now. I want to get a copy of Appaloosa, the Bow of the Goddess, because it is very you can very frequently see 4 or 5 monster boards with this deck, and it's weird. It's so weird to me that that can happen. And then it's like monsters with different names. You want to just like send them all off to have this monster that's either super big at 3200 attack, or can just like cancel monster effects at will by sacrificing 800 attack. And it's like it's good, and I've always liked Appaloosa. I really like Appaloosa, but at the same time, extra deck is kind of tight. I'm still not sure what I'm doing. We still don't have the Dark Magician cards that I need to have the space for. So that's whatever when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Um, in the future, I want to play a kind of like hybrid ritual deck, but I need to see more of the ritual Dark Magician support come out. But when that comes out, I'm gonna have to run 2 synchro monsters, not because I actually summoned them, but because off of the effect of Diviner of the Herald, you know, that tiny bitch that they're always using in the Drytron decks to annoy everybody's day, you can send these 2 synchro monsters and search any ritual monster in your deck, which is important since you don't really have a search for Magician of Black Chaos and its variants because it's a level 8, and the best ritual searching general spell card is Preparation of Rites, which only goes up to level 7. So you're just kind of like it's nice to have in the deck to search Magician of Black Chaos max, but that's a bridge to be crossed when those cards show up in this game. Um, and yeah, really, that's all I have to really talk about. So that's all of my thinking when it comes to building these Dark Magician decks. I it's weird because I like the Dark Magician decks, but I also realize I've gotten used to the power level and flexibility of like the up to date, like current for the TCG kind of builds, and playing the Master Duel variation feels like a kind of weird like version 0.8 to their version 1.0. So it's kind of stressful in a weird way, but I like Dark Magician. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, that's a fun deck.
Yeah. I'd like to just reach a point where like so look at these other things that I have basically sculpted out. Like this one in particular, right? Because this is just totally my aesthetic things the deck. It's like you got samurais and yokai and all this fucking shit. You got these crazy ass synchros that just get ridiculously powerful and whatnot. And I still haven't even tried to learn it yet because I just been so focused on like optimizing this. I have this Galaxy Eyes deck which just allows me to play punch people in the mouth with giant monsters the deck, and I still haven't put any time into learning that yet. I have this here because I actually just like it aesthetically again, but I haven't put any time into it because, once again, focusing on Dark Magicians. So I'm in this weird situation where I could either get better with Dark Magicians or spread the love, but I'm just not doing it. And even then, I can't really do that, like, learn the other stuff yet because this is another deck where it's like a 2022 like truly a 2020s type or modern Yu-Gi-Oh type deck to learn modern Yu-Gi-Oh with, but it is also in the same situation the Dark Magician deck is because it has a wild boss monster that isn't in the game yet because it literally came out, I don't know, like 2 months ago. So yeah, it's just it's weird, but Oh, and then this one that I just recently realized that I could build. I need to add that last card, but I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Though it's also missing some monsters. But yeah, that seems to be the biggest issue I'm having with Master Duel right now. It's like it's so close to being perfect, but just because there's a content gap like between time of release and what's available in game, I'm like, oh god, not this again. So I have to have a whole other sim ready if I want to like build decks and see test hands and play against AIs to see how the deck works. It's so weird.
I know there's some like new Dark Vision support that's like pretty darn good, but they haven't had that yet.
Yeah, that's one of the like the illusion of chaos is the main one right now, but it's something, man. It needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Uh, let's see.
What you got for me? Yeah, yeah, I get to be one of these filthy types.
Unfortunately for you, well, actually, I should have done this.
Oh
I
god
lost that.
damn it! Well, I
I
mean,
can't.
I guess
I
it's
can't even
a.
spell.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, you go ahead.
I can't even spell some stuff. I can't even spell some anything else right now. So what I do, uh, I just want to be like, I'm not letting you, but like, I probably didn't need to. But
I'm just here like I have it, so I'm just gonna try and learn how to use it. That's really where I am right now. Okay. Oh, well, that would have been nice like 2 seconds ago, but okay. So let's see how I'm gonna go about this. Hmm. You know what? Yeah, I think I know exactly how we're gonna move. So we're gonna do this and discard you, as wild as that is. Oh, actually, yeah, we are gonna do that. But thank you for getting rid of that ash blossom.
oh,
Then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna activate this effect. What do I feel like doing? I'm gonna do this. Send you to graveyard. Alright. Then from here, we are going to activate. Actually, no. What's the coolest thing I could do right now? I'm gonna set this. Uh, what do I got in here? Okay. Yeah, so. Yeah, I think we're gonna just pass turn. Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, we're gonna pass.
let's see what we
Th-
got.
This is
Okay,
this is totally not because of anything else, but
I got one
uh,
people draw, but I'll take it.
ooh.
If you
Well,
dare copy.
let me see. You know
Oh, you
what? I'm gonna let you go off. Yeah.
okay.
I'm just trying to come up with like what kind of interaction I can come up with in my head real fast, because I've got fun stuff in mind too. So, oh, actually, maybe I probably should have gone into mine because I just realized something. Yeah, we're gonna do it too. So,
Oh, okay.
oh, as a matter of fact, yeah, we are gonna do this. So we're gonna use you, and we're gonna use you.
Okay. Oh, thank you for the card, I guess.
That's the reason why I was thinking maybe I should have done mine earlier.
You know what? Hmm. Let's see where this goes. Oh. Actually, wait, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Well, I can do this too.
Oh my god! This is the silliest match. Oh my god. No!
Oh, well, how to activate the effect.
And I'm gonna activate mine. This is so dumb. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god, and then I just realized something else that I have available to me.
Alright. Alright. Yeah, I get that. And I'll take the trade. Oh, dang. That boosted me. Alright.
Oh, that's right, mirror match. I'm like, why did you hit that hard? Oh, Jesus. Let's go. I swear on everything. Ooh! Yeah,
No.
very, very hard of the cards, actually.
Dang.
Yes, sir! Like,
Okay. Oh.
and I've had that for a while. Now, here's my problem, right? You know what? We're gonna do this. Yeah, we're gonna do you. Because I get to end my phase, and
Oh,
then
really? Okay.
and then just move right into sillies. In any other situation, I would have summoned a Dark Magician right there. But again, this is also the reason why I'm like, this card really should have had that text of this card is also Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl if summoned with the materials Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl.
You
But
would do that?
yes, I would. But this is why I was saying what I did, where I was like, what do you call it? Any other situation, I would have summoned these guys.
Oh, dang, no!
And it's not even over yet.
Oh my god.
This is a stupid interaction.
Oh, Jesus. Should I continue attack? Actually, okay, I can switch the target at least. Oh, dang. Oh, I did not think this through.
It's okay, it happens. Oh my god. I'm trying to think here. It's like, no matter what, I can be very, very mean right here. You know what? I won't do the other one because I hate it when that happens to me. But I'm gonna show you something in a second.
Okay. Oh, dang, I got lucky here. Do you still want to show me? Because I can get rid of all this really quick right now, actually.
Oh my god! Well, do what you gotta, and I'll do what I have to.
Yeah, sorry. That was personal.
Yeah, I figured. Alright, I'll show you exactly what was about to happen to you.
Oh!
Yeah, that's it. Alright, so... Yeah, there's really no reason for me to do anything right now because everything's dead.
Ah, that's actually pretty clever. I see, I see.
Alright, but we're gonna do this. Just to put something on the field, because it's terrifying right now.
That's fair.
Honestly, this Dark Magician girl is... Oh, that's right! Oh, no! I thought that had already taken place. That's what...
Insane! What the heck? That's not fair!
Dude, I hate Eternal Soul sometimes. Well, I mean, do what you gotta, because that was honestly just me showing you every single interaction I could think of in that moment. But wow,
Yeah.
that one hurt.
Oh my god.
I'm here like that resolved already, right?
Fuck that too.
That's so funny. Holy crap!
What's up?
All right, let's start another one.
Let's get-
That was fun. I mean, it was funny, but I'm also just here like, wow, Gabe, you don't have to be like that. What I wouldn't give for like a retrade of Eternal Soul and like Dark Magical Circle. Like, if I could get that, I would want it so that Eternal Soul, when popped, doesn't destroy all monsters. You could like, I don't know, either like select the monster to tribute to make it so that it doesn't kill all the monsters, or just something, because that effect is like, it's overcorrecting for an era that has long since passed. All right.
Alright, well, might as well. If you try something stupid, I won't let you.
All right.
Be careful though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Alright. That was also rude.
All right. Gotta stack one of these. Hmm. Actually, yeah, we're gonna just leave it at that. And turn, because I had nothing to summon.
Yeah. Well, okay. I just recently added this card just because I need more draw power.
That's actually a really good card in this deck. Like, I've seen a lot of people talk about the combo of Soul Servant to stack, and then you just use that to draw whatever you stacked.
Hmm.
So, yeah. However,
Alright.
no more.
But this. Oh, pain. You, you can, for restaurant cannot has not be. Okay, dang it. Damn. I had Dark Magical Circle, but I guess I can't now. Dang. Also my turn.
Alright. And it's funny too. I only really started using that hand trap because I didn't have access to the others. Like I was poverty life, so I'm like, I need something, but I don't have URs right now. Like you are dust, you are money, whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
All right, so what's it gonna beef with you? Oh, actually, I know what I'm gonna do. Come here. We are going to, yeah. Don't you goddamn dare.
I can, alright.
Oh, okay. Uh, alright, so we're just waiting for the boy to hit the field.
Yeah, dear.
Okay, and from here, I'm gonna stack. Come to think of it, what do I want off of this? You actually. Like, normally we don't do that, but I don't care here. Because I have another one ready for whatever. Alright. Activate. Ooh. Well, actually, no, that might be bad. I don't know. Oh, actually, I have an idea. Alright. One, two, three. Select. Um. So, this is still this turn. Alright. Battle phase. I'm gonna put a little bit of damage up. We're gonna move into main phase 2.
Okay. Oh,
Yep. And then we shall end the turn.
interesting. During your main phase, you notice on one wall jump. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This one, give me this, please.
Uh.
Pain.
All right. And then it gets better.
Oh my god.
But you see what I mean, right? Like, the deck is a lot of fun where it's just like weaving in all of this nonsense in between everything.
Oh jeez. Uh. Oh. That was technically still says the field. I think. Yeah.
And now the actual pain happens. Which one? Which one? You.
Darn it. My turtle's low. No. Luckily.
Oh! Ah, that, alright, you got it, you got it. That was good.
Okay, let's try something new.
Oh, shit.
Oh dang. I took the wrong one.
Oh, I hate that. I don't know why they don't just allow you to go all the way back sometimes. It's not like you've committed to anything where you have to reveal it to the opponent. Oh, shit.
I probably should have got rid of this card, but it's late now.
Uh,
Let's see.
and that's the thing too. If this was Dark Magician or Dragonite, that would have been terrifying for me.
Whatever.
Ooh.
We'll see where this goes. Anything? I can't. Honestly, oh yeah, I can do this, can I? I was like, I probably should have gotten rid of this card, but
Okay. Okay. Time for some. Time for probably the silliest move you're gonna see all night. We are going to tribute summon like it's 2002,
oh, okay.
and this is just to get this ability live.
Oh, fuck. I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. God.
Oh, and you know what's crazy about that? I don't have the resources for it, but technically doing it this way allowed me to save my Eternal Soul usage. So if I had another Dark Magician anything to do, I probably could have been really mean right there. Yeah.
Really? How are you gonna go after my monster? Alright.
No, I went after the soul because it's like if you're playing two in the deck, that's basically game right there. And then I catch that draw too because Dark Magician Girl are on field. So then we set these. Let's look at what I have available to myself. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and this is also just to show you another thing you can do with this deck.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Link Spider. Let's see what this do.
and then we're gonna
Let's
end the
return.
turn. I'll tell you right now, it's not because of anything that Link Spider does.
Okay. Let's do something a little wild. Bye bye.
Are you sure about
No!
that? But this is what I'm trying to show you, right? So, spell traps obviously still work under skill drain, right? And Dark
Yeah.
Magician is a non-effect monster, so it really doesn't care one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Circle up, and all of your monster effects are off.
Pain.
So now everything on the field is subjected to this little banish.
Damn. Oh. Suddenly.
Yeah, you see how painful it is now, right?
Yeah.
Mind you,
Oh my.
I'm not really doing any of this to like to bully or whatnot. It's just
No.
I actually really like teaching people things, and I hope that you kind of like take some of this and like I don't
Yeah.
know, go with it. It's fun.
Dang. What this? That looks sick, honestly. That looks
It's
sick.
really cool, man, and it's also kind of unfair to me that like, what do you call it? Dark Magician has all of these fusion monsters, and none of them trigger that animation. But it's Dark Magician and Blackluster Soldier, and it's like trying to tell me, oh, so just I should just play a full Yugi deck at that point if I want the cool flourishes. All right, boys back.
Dang. This is necessary? Probably. No.
It's just to show it off, really.
Yeah.
You've been here too long. And then you. And the girl is back. And now we swing for game.
I can't.
Oh,
Ow.
sorry.
Alright, alright. Nice.
Yeah, the deck is stupid. Like, it's not the greatest thing ever. It's not Drytron. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not like all of these things running around and causing grief for all of these people who are returning to the game. I think that's what it is. The Dark Magician deck is the deck that's the oldest that I remembered how to play, that has also been updated the most, so I can kind of sort of play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! While also understanding the archetype. So that's why I have such a fondness for it and attachment to it. But I still do want to see it kind of like grow into something better than it is, because it's just fun. And like I wish if people wouldn't be so like, oh, you're just a Yugi boomer. Like that kind of mentality about these things, because I do want to play other different things. So it's just that I'm slow on the uptake because I'm technically still a returning player.
Hmm. I can probably do some more bread, I believe. But
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I could do like two more before I gotta go eat.
Okay.
It's been fun labbing with you though.
Oh, oh wait, say that again.
It's been fun labbing stuff with you though.
Oh, sure thing. If I had thought about it, instead of doing that whole long like verbal breakdown on everything, I would have tried to play more so that I could like rotate between cards that I've played in the past with the deck, so you could see like where my thinking currently came from.
Mm.
And also just because I want to kind of play even one time Dark Magician of Chaos, even though like yeah, super old, not as good card anymore, but that's my baby.
Mm.
Whenever they make a Magician of Black Chaos that feels as good to play as that did back in the days, I am all over it.
Alright, I'm not letting you get away that easily.
Okay, okay, it gets to resolve this time.
Okay. Alright, give me your free,
Alright,
not free drug. Thank you.
alright. So, what do I have here? Hmm. Do I want to take a chance on this? Alright, I'm gonna try this. I never use it, especially with this card in particular, but I want to draw two. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
Oh, that hurts.
Well,
That really hurts. I should have left it. Oh well.
it happens.
Yeah. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! And we pass. Because I keep forgetting that that's even an effective Magician's Soul sometimes. So I'm like, I need to get more in the habit of using this. And then I just draw, like, it's not even like a bad draw in particular. It's just, imagine drawing two pieces that you needed the two cards you sent off for.
Hmm. Call forth, dark vision.
Oh boy.
That's not all.
Oh oh. Mm-mm.
Oh, darn you.
Yeah, I could have stopped that Maxi earlier. I'm like, let me hold this just in case.
I see. I'm not done yet, though.
Oh, god damn it!
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, the fancy way.
Alright. Gonna make this hurt.
Alright. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, okay, so we're gonna do this. What do I have
Okay.
in here? Wait, which one is in here? Okay. Okay. And you see, this would be precisely when I would want one of the two cards, both of the two cards that I sent at the very beginning. Oh my god. Bro, I'm in so much pain right now.
It happens.
Alright, I guess we'll just do this.
Okay.
Wait, I'm an idiot. Alright, we're gonna just end the turn. I'm
Oh.
overthinking.
Maybe I should do this, but
Actually, thank you for that.
oh. Well, equivalent exchange. Uh, wait, I can't activate the effect.
Oh no! I mean, honestly, you basically won anyway, but.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this do? What? I've never seen that effect before. Oh my god, I activated skill drain too early. I'm just gonna activate it for the hell of it so you know that something could have happened there.
Ah. Nah, close enough. Yeah.
Like, I've literally never seen that effect come up ever before. So seeing it there, I was taken so far back, I'm like, are you kidding? That's a real thing I can do? Alright. You wanna do one more or
Yeah, one more for you.
okay. My apologies if you hear me chewing at all over here, because I'm just like stupidly hungry and I didn't get
Oh
an
no,
opportunity to like munch beforehand.
all good. I go first. Okay, this is bad.
Damn.
Can you stop this? No, you can't.
That's my favorite thing, when the prompt just moves and it's like, oh god, they can respond. In any other situation, you would never know.
Alright, let's see. What should I have in my hand? I already have driver built, so no, actually, should I? Yeah, screw it, I'll do it. Maybe I should put Eternal Soul, but it's fine.
Alright, what we got? Jesus! What a hand! Okay. I'm
not letting that happen.
Ah! Okay, I'm happy now. Why is it still your turn? Oh, it was my turn.
All right.
Alright.
No, perfect.
Oh, what even? Oh, that's right. Okay. What nonsense are you trying to do over there?
Yeah,
Oh my god!
yeah,
Let me see. What is the right? You know what? We're just gonna try and be fast.
all right.
Oh wait, hold on a second. This is actually perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm not letting you put on. Oh, four card position.
Alright, it's gonna ask me to do that. Alright, so what are we killing?
I'm getting rid of that banish. I'm not letting you banish your monsters.
Alright, cool. Okay. And then I get to do this because you put the Dark Magicians on the field for me.
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, wait! Wait, you didn't have a Dark Magician girl in the... Oh, that's right. That was fused off a rod. Well, it's still good.
Yeah.
We set. We set.
No
And
monsters?
we set.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I'm really suspicious right now, but. Oh dang. Oh, actually, good. This is actually really good. Sorry, Azure. I'm letting you stop
Oh,
this.
no. Wait, I'm an idiot. Why did I set that? I just realized I set two of the same thing by accident.
Okay.
And it's so funny too because in the situation where I had circle, I would just hot ban like something over there to get this to prevent this from happening. Well, you know what? Screw it.
Oh no! I'm going to use this where I get a chest.
Oh my god, it's like this is the if I go down, I'm taking you with me setup. Everything is gone. Oh, that's right, Dark Magician is protected.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eternal Soul saved my ass!
Oh my god, and the Eternal Souls on my side would have just destroyed everything anyway.
What?
Oh my
Oh.
god. Yeah, I know. I just didn't want the bigger damage that would have been possible once you got the other board set up. Oh my god, this game is so stupid. I love it. Okay. Oh, what is this?
It's just this, yeah. What should I add actually? I should know. Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, nice. Can I kill you right now? Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah, I can.
Oh my god.
Get rid of this. GG, shake my hand.
Oh, that's right. You play 3 Dark Magicians, so that's actually pretty good for you.
Uh,
Damn.
yeah, can I be him? Yeah, I can.
Oh my god.
Three dark edition. More
honestly,
versatile.
I'm very like, just for Master Duel as it is right now. I wouldn't mind playing 3 Dark Magicians. I'm just trying to get used to playing 2.
Hmm.
that
That was fun though. Very
was
silly, but
that was really fun.
yeah.
We definitely got to do these more. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully by the next time I'll have more decks to talk about or whatnot.
Yeah.
But or maybe we'll just get a surprise and like they'll put some more of the newer Dark Magician stuff in the game.
I hope they had to do like those new cards seem really sick, and I kind of like
Hmm.
want to use them.
Yeah.
But
I think the other reason why I'm so gung ho about like wanting to play the newer stuff is because it's like I've been building those decks for so long, like using like Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega for example,
mm,
and it would just be nice to finally actually see how the deck works against real people versus like test
mm.
hands and AIs all the time. That, and I think I'm just ready for the officially supported game that I can just boot that up and do everything that I want, test,
Yeah, I know
play,
what you mean.
etc., etc. Because it's like this life of bouncing between things and deck building when like one set has all everything up to like the most recently announced V Jump promos or whatever, and then the other one is like, here's the same game, but we're gonna have to cut it back to like 4 or so booster packs and 4 special event packs back, and you're just there like, but why though?
Yeah.
All right then. Thanks for the games. Thanks for being on stream.
Yeah, of course.
You can just say bye or whatever parting
Right.
remarks you'd
Bye
like.
everyone for everyone who's watching.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, and that's gonna be the end of this recording. I'll see you
All right.
guys eventually.